painful as this self trap is, sometimes it feels safer to be trapped in there than to be helpless. Because when you go through abuse, trauma, violation, and you feel like there's nobody there to help you with it, or there's nobody there to, or you couldn't help yourself. So instead of feeling helpless, the best thing is just to find a way to cope with what happened to you. And that is when we start blaming ourselves for things that we shouldn't be blaming ourselves for. My name is Chioma Chime, and I am so glad that you all are here today. Happy Saturday. And for people that have been with us from the beginning, you're welcome back. For the ones that are joining us today for the first time, I welcome you all today. And I am so glad that you're here today. And I just want to let you know that you being here, you're not going to regret it. You're going to benefit a lot from it because your voice matters. Your life matters. Your happiness matters. And your freedom matters as well. And that is why I'm so excited for today's topic. Today, we're going to talk about the self-blame trap. I would like for you to give me like a thumbs up or raise your hand if you've ever been in this trap of self-blame. Because I know I have been in that trap a lot. A lot of people have been in self-blame trap, and sometimes unconsciously you just blame yourself for things that are not even your fault. It is a very common thing for survivors of abuse. When you go through violation, trauma, abuse, you tend to carry this invisible burden, and that is self-blame. And this self-blame is it's not like a real response. It's not a fact. It's something that we use to cope with what had happened to us. I will call it a very human response to the experience that we've been through. And our brain, as you all know, is wired for survival. So when you go through trauma, the first thing you're going to be thinking in your brain is like your brain is trying to make a sense of what had happened to you. And since it's not something that you could have prevented or controlled, self-blame is often like a way to cope with our overwhelming experience. And I'm honestly telling you this morning, I have been through this trap a lot of times. Because when something happens to you and you cannot make sense of it, the first thing you're going to tell yourself is, maybe it was my fault. I should have known better. I could have stopped it. I shouldn't have dressed the way I did. I shouldn't have been at that environment at that particular time. But these thoughts that you're having, it can feel like the truth, but they are not. This is part of what we call the self-blame trap, because you get yourself trapped into that self-blame that you can't even think of anything else. But as painful as this self-trap is, sometimes it feels safer to be trapped in there than to be helpless. Because when you go through abuse, trauma, violation, the first thing, and you feel like there's nobody there to help you with it, or there's nobody there to, or you couldn't help yourself. So instead of feeling helpless, the best thing is just to find a way to cope with what happened to you. And that is when we start blaming ourselves for things that we shouldn't be blaming ourselves for. So today, we're just going to talk about why does self-blame happens. And I've explained some of the whys. It's just our way of trying to make sense of what had happened to us. One thing I know about this self-blame is how it works. So, of course, it starts with what is going on, what had happened, and stuff like that. In your consciousness, your subconsciousness, in your mind, you know that something had happened to you, and it's something that you don't want to talk about, or you don't want to let people know about it, so you internalize it, and then you keep telling yourself things just to make yourself feel good about what happened, or just to make yourself forget about what happened. And all those thoughts of, like I said earlier, maybe it was my fault, I shouldn't have been there at the time. All those thoughts will create shame, guilt, fear, low self-worth. And you kept, like, you're trapped in there until you decide to help yourself out of it. Because this is a trap, like I said. You have to find a way to break out of that trap. Otherwise, you'll be trapped there for a while. And once you're trapped there, it's like you're just sitting there and you're not seeing anything but and sometimes when people start blaming themselves for what happened to them, it could lead to other harms that we don't even know. It could lead to a lot of people will start having thoughts to harm themselves, which shouldn't be, because what had happened to you, you didn't bring it on yourself. You didn't make it happen, but it happened. And the fact that we cannot change what happened to you, we shouldn't give ourselves the right to blame ourselves and get trapped there. We should give ourselves the right to move past what had happened to us. It is not easy. I am saying it now, but I promise you it's not easy to help yourself sometimes. Sometimes it might take some people around you showing you love, teaching you to love yourself, for you to be able to get out of that self-blame trap that you have been into. And I promise you, healing will begin as soon as you start telling yourself, instead of saying to yourself, it was my fault. Just think about you think about what happened to you and think about, could I have controlled it at the time that it happened? No, it's not something that I could have controlled. So I am not going to blame myself for what had happened to me. And then instead of saying I allowed it, just tell yourself, when I was there, did that environment feel safe? Was I even empowered enough to be able to deal with this situation? You just find a way not to trap yourself in that little hole where you're constantly blaming yourself. Oh my goodness, if I had not done this, this wouldn't have happened. What happened to you was never your fault. And until you start telling yourself, or you start taking up this responsibility of your healing, your growth, your future, your freedom, and stop taking responsibility for the people that harmed you, and stop taking someone else's responsibility for someone else's actions. You can only take responsibility for your own action. If you had brought this upon yourself and you're self-blaming yourself, yeah, that's fine. I'll support you. I'll be like, yeah, that's good. You can blame yourself. But for the fact that what had happened to you, you did not bring it upon yourself. You did not ask for it. It happened, and we cannot change it. Please do not blame yourself. because you didn't cause it. So for you to start healing, for you to get out of this trap, you need to take responsibility, like I said a few seconds ago, for your growth. You need to move forward. You need to move past what had happened to you. You need to think about your freedom. You need to, because if you're trapped there, I promise you, the person that caused you this harm is sitting out there happy that you're trapped, happy that you cannot move past what happened to you. So I encourage you to not feel trapped anymore. Don't feel guilty. Don't be ashamed. Don't put yourself down. Don't think less of yourself. No, love yourself. Love yourself. I think it was a few months ago when I was talking about, I think it was our first session, I can't remember, or was it last year during one of those programs? I was telling the participants, I told them, I said, when I went through abuse, to be honest with you, it felt like, okay, maybe that's part of my life. And honestly, I lived in this self-blame trap forever because I kept blaming myself. I was a child. I was 6 years old when what happened to me happened to me. But as an adult, I kept asking myself, what could I have done better? Like I brought it upon myself, you know. But and then that now changed a lot of perceptions that I had about myself. It made me feel like of course, growing up, I mean, even till now, I'm a very shy person. But what happened to me actually pushed me deep, deep inside a rabbit hole. And it took courage. It took me telling myself, I am done. I can't be in this hole. I can't be in this trap. I have to heal myself. I have to come up. I have to speak up. I have to come out and tell my story. I have to help people heal. I have to help people gain that confidence to be able to talk about what happened to them. These things actually helped me heal from, or help my healing process from what had happened to me. And I tell you, I've said this earlier in one of my sessions. I have like sticky notes all over my dresser in my room, and on these notes, I always write something beautiful about myself. It could be a Bible quotation. It could be something that someone said to me. It could be something that I dream about. It could be anything. So I always write down stuff and I put it on around my mirror. And every morning before I leave my house, when I'm dressing up to go outside, to go to work, to go to church, to go anywhere, I look in the mirror. And then I pick one of the things I wrote there, and that would be my affirmation for the day. That would be my word for the day. That would be what I will go out with. And it has helped me a whole lot because it changed how I see myself. It changed how I see people around me. It changed how I talk about myself. It gives me this confidence knowing that, like, when I look at myself in the mirror, I tell myself, I don't care what people think about me. I don't care what they will say about me. But I look at myself in the mirror and I tell myself, Chioma, you're beautiful. You are you are beautifully and wonderfully made by God. He took his time to make you, to create you. And that will give me this self-confidence instead of having like a low self-worth, a low self-esteem. No, it will boost my energy. It will boost my self-esteem, my confidence. And I go out like with all smiles, knowing that Whatever you say about me doesn't matter. It is what God says about me and what I say about myself. Those are the things that matter. And sometimes you might think, oh, she's saying this because she feels like she's beautiful. I don't care if you think that I'm beautiful or not. I tell myself what I want to feel. And that is what you should start doing. Tell yourself how you want people to see you and go out feeling like that. If I wake up in the morning and tell myself, oh my God, I'm getting old, look at all this gray hair. When I go out, even when people compliment me, I feel like, oh, they're lying to me because I know I'm old. That is what I'm telling myself. But when you look in the mirror and you tell yourself, I am worth, I am worth living. I am worth praising. I am beautiful. I am bold. I am strong. And you go out like that. By the time you know it, you being trapped in that self-blame and putting yourself down, blaming yourself for what didn't you didn't even bring upon yourself, you notice that you will gradually start, it will gradually lift up from you. You will start feeling good about yourself. So in other words, I'm just trying to let us know that self-blame is not a fact. It is it's like a coping mechanism that a lot of survivors are using so that to make themselves feel good, but it is not right. Please, I'm begging us, let's not take responsibility for something that we didn't bring upon ourselves. So I'm gonna stop here, and then I will give opportunities for people to ask me questions and also to share your story if you want to. And this space is a very safe space. You're not obligated to share your story, but we would really like to hear your story. And another thing that I like to do is I always leave my information out there. If you feel like you don't want to share, but you want to talk to me one on one, please reach out to me. I will make out time to talk with you. It's better to share. There's a saying in my culture, problem shared is problem half solved. When you share your problem, even if that person is not able to take care of what is going on with you, for the fact that you have someone listening to you, it's a big relief. And I tell you, I have been through a lot of things, I've had a lot of experiences in life that whatever you think that you're going through and you think that, oh, she's not going to be able to understand, I promise you, I can relate with whatever it is. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I said I was abused as a child, but to be honest with you, the abuse followed me till adulthood. And it wasn't one type of abuse. It was like I've been through different types of abuses. And that is why I said I can relate with whatever that you are going through or you have been through. And so feel free to reach out to me and I can talk to you one on one. But if you want to share so that people can benefit from your story, that would be great. And I am here. I'm waiting for questions. To you, you did not ask for it. So you cannot take responsibility for someone else's action. You can only take responsibility for your own actions, and you can take responsibility for your healing, for your growth, for your future, for your freedom. Don't self-blame yourself. Don't self-blame don't put yourself in that trap of self-blame. The No More Secrets program, and this is a program that we set up for survivors of abuse, and we talk about what happened to us and talk about ways to heal from it. Today's program to an end, and I expect to see you all next month for a new topic. And I thank you all for joining, and I love you all.